Today we are talking about all things concerts and related to concerts, everything like that. Also ignore my bed. I didn't feel like making it, so I just threw some extra little pillows up here. We're ignoring this. This video, I feel like is low-key for like people who've maybe never even been to a concert before or just like don't know like concert culture, because I've seen a lot of like discourse on like TikTok and Twitter. Ever since the pandemic, concert culture has like shifted, and I don't know, it's like slightly different than how it was before, I've noticed, and like some of my friends have noticed that too, that it's just like, I don't know, just like different. I have been to, I think I counted 18 concerts in my life, so I'm like, I know a thing or two about concerts, so I'm here to spread the knowledge. I'm gonna start with like concert etiquette and just like things to keep in mind when you're going to a concert, especially like GA, general admission concerts, that like the whole thing is like just a pit. I'll get into that. So my first, like, I guess not like tip, but just like general concert etiquette. When you're in line to like line up for a concert, like stand your ground, because people will try to cut you and try to like sneak ahead of you, be like, oh, like just like I'm friends with them, like my friends are up there, whatever. Don't let people cut you either, but also like don't start fights in line. I've seen so many videos of like people genuinely like fist fighting in lines for concerts, and it's like, I feel like it's never that serious. But and then while you're in the pit, in the GA, the general admission section of the concert, everyone obviously wants to be like at the front, but not everyone can be. So once you get your spot, just accept it, and like don't be like pushing and shoving people all night or like leaning on the person in front of you like with your phone, because I've had that happen where people like they come up over your shoulder with their phone and they're like leaning and trying to see around you, and it's like, just have your space. And you gotta keep in mind for GA, especially if you're shorter, you might not be able to see the performer the whole time. Also, like drinking, if you're of age, don't get so drunk or like drink so much that you're stumbling around and like going like this on everyone else, or like spilling your drinks. I've had a few drinks spilled on me at concerts as well, and it's not a fun experience because you're like, thanks so much, like I appreciate that so much. No, but or if you're just like stumbling and like holding on to people. I had that happen to me at Rep Tour. I remember I was like watching Taylor at the B stage, and this woman behind me, I was like 16 at the time, she's like leaning on me for support. I'm like, girl, I'm trying to watch Taylor, like get off me. Like go lean on your boyfriend or whoever you're with. Like don't do that to people who you don't know, especially. Another thing is, if there are chairs and like you are seated like in an arena or stadium or just whatever, don't stand on your chair to try and like see above everyone or like see everyone. Because I remember at my first show of the Eras Tour, there were these two girls who were like 2 rows ahead of me, and they all of a sudden, as soon as like Taylor like starts to come on stage, they stand on their chairs to see, and I'm like, you literally cannot do that. Everyone around them, we were all like, get down. Like they did step down, like luckily it wasn't a big thing, but it's like, just don't do that. Like everyone is trying to see the same as you, and you gotta take, like you bought those seats, you're just gonna have the view that you have. Like you can't just like get on top. I can see maybe a parent like lifting their child up for like a little bit, but also not the whole concert, like whatever. Kind of on the same thing is signs, and I feel like signs have gotten out of control, at least at some concerts. And I feel like, I'm not saying like this is Harry Styles' fault, but because he does do a like thing in his show where he reads people's signs, and I think that is so cute and fun, but we don't need to be holding up signs like the entire concert, especially huge ones where people behind you can not see anything. If the artist isn't specifically looking in the crowd to read signs, they're probably not going to see your sign or read it or know what you're trying to tell them. So just keep that in mind. Like just honestly don't bring a sign. Like unless it's like a cute little fan project, where I've seen those where like everyone will have a sign, like a little like sheet of paper to hold up for the artist to see during like a certain song or whatever. And I think that is so cute, because we did do that for Sabrina Carpenter when I saw her last year, and that was so cute. But you hold it up for like a specific part of the song and you put it down, and everyone's doing it, so like it's all so cute. Yeah. Another one that I've seen a lot of on TikTok is like people scream, absolutely scream singing songs the whole time. That's just so not enjoyable for everyone around you. Obviously I do scream and like sing along with the songs and have fun with it, and like everyone sings along obviously, but you don't need to be like absolutely like ripping your throat out screaming or like a TikTok view or whatever. I don't know, if like the whole concert someone was like behind me or next to me like ripping their throat out screaming, I would be so annoyed, and I would have to be like, okay, let's cut this out. Like we're all trying to like have a good time here. And I kind of already touched on this, but like don't try to push your way up to barricade. If you did not get in line early enough to get barricade, like, I'm sorry. I've obviously had that experience where it's like, shoot, like I wish we would have like maybe gotten in line earlier or like whatever. But you're gonna have a good time no matter where you are, especially like if you're with friends or whatever, or like even if you're by yourself, whatever. Just like, it's so fun. If you wanted a closer spot, like you should have gotten there earlier. Like you can't just like push through everyone who was there before you and try and get up front. So yeah, those are my general like etiquette things, and obviously just be nice to people. Like just be nice and conscious of everyone around you. It's as simple as that. It's really not that hard to do. And I've just like noticed so much of just like nastiness and just like fending for yourself and just like slamming into people at concerts. I don't know. It's just like not fun for anyone, and you're just like ruining people's experiences and your own. So just simple etiquette to keep in mind if you have never been to a concert, or if you're like planning on going to like a GA concert, whatever. Now I'm quickly gonna talk about just like things that I bring to every single concert that I go to, and that I brought to every concert like last year and just like plan to bring to future concerts. So first you need is obviously a bag, and most places, mostly like stadiums now, but I feel like a lot of like smaller venues are maybe starting to implement this, and that is a clear bag. And this one is just from Amazon. It was like not even 20 bucks, and I used it for every single concert I went to last year. I think my mom used it for something too. Like I used it for like a baseball game. It's just so nice. The one thing I will say is the strap like does not stay. Like if you try to adjust it, it doesn't stay. So I put like, when I brought it to Taylor, I put like little Taylor themed pins in there to like keep it stable. I fit everything I needed in this little bag. So, and if it's like all the stadium size requirements, like make sure you look up bag requirements for your venue and make sure that you have something that fits that, because they are strict. Like I've seen so many people try to bring in like full-on purses, and it's like, no, you literally can't. Like they will keep that, or you have to go back to your car and put it away, which especially sucks if it's a GA thing, because like you've been in line this whole time and now you have to just like either throw away your purse or like lose your spot in line. So please just like, it's so easy to look up bag requirements beforehand and not lose your stuff. Okay, so now what I actually put in the clear bag, I'm just gonna read it off my list, so sorry that I'm gonna be looking on my phone, but obviously you need your wallet and like your credit, debit cards, and especially your ID. And no cash is typically like needed nowadays at most venues. Most venues are cashless. That's another thing that I think you can probably just like look up on their website if they're cashless or not. I always bring obviously a chapstick and whatever like lipstick, lip gloss I'm wearing for the night, I'll pack in there so I can touch it up. Tissues is a big one, especially if like, you know, you're gonna cry at the concert. I cry at most concerts. Bring tissues, and just like if you ever have to blow your nose, like simple, you know what tissues are used for, but tissues is always like a main one that I always try to have. Big thing is if your concert is outdoors and maybe the sun hasn't set by the time the artist is coming on stage, bring sunglasses. Or even if like for sitting around before the concert, bring sunglasses, because I wish I had sunglasses when I saw Taylor in Chicago. I don't think I brought my sunglasses in any of those nights, and I should have. It was so bad. I don't know why I didn't. Like by the third night you think I would have like remembered, but some places, I know we did this in Cincinnati for Taylor, and some venues, I don't know, they say that you can bring in an unopened water bottle, so like a sealed clear like plastic water bottle that you can bring in of your own. So we brought some in and it worked, and it was amazing because that was the hottest day ever, I swear to God. Check if you can. I feel like Soldier Field said you could, and then people were like getting turned away and you couldn't bring it in. So I don't know, some places say you can and then you actually can't, but just keep that in mind. And the main thing that I never go to any concert without is a portable charger. And obviously I try and charge my phone beforehand, but bringing a portable charger is a lifesaver, just because you need it for, especially if you're driving home or just like any transportation after the show. Like you probably need your phone, and you know, obviously taking videos and pictures if you want. But yeah, portable charger is a big one. Hair ties / clips to put your hair up if it gets too hot and sweaty. Like that's always nice to have and put your hair up. One tip is sometimes you can maybe sneak in like a little snack or like little something, but a lot of venues probably will catch that and won't let you. But a tip is if you're like driving home, like if you're getting back in your own car, leave yourself like snacks and water in the car for after, because I swear I ate like half of a bag of chips after one of my Taylor shows because I was just like waiting to leave the parking lot and I was so hungry. So that's like the smartest thing I've ever done, like leave snacks in your car if you're going back to your own car, obviously. So now moving on to more just like general concert tips and tricks, just like things I've learned. through my years of going to concerts. Like I said, I've been to 18. 8 of those were Taylor Swift, and I've seen like Harry Styles, Conan Gray, Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, Fletcher, like so many cool people. I love going to like smaller concerts. Obviously Taylor is amazing and like she'll always be my number one, but like smaller concerts at smaller venues are always like so fun as well. So talking about like GA shows and camping and waiting in line, if you do want like a barricade spot, like front row spot for a GA show, most concerts people are gonna camp for those, unfortunately, like camp outside the venue overnight. So if you're interested in doing that, I've never personally done that. If you want that, check on like Twitter or Instagram, like fan pages. They'll sometimes post like when the GA line starts, or like like if it has started, how many people are in line, things like that. Just so you know like what time you need to maybe get there to get a good spot, or if you want to go the night before and set up a little tent and camp. I think it would be like a fun experience. I just don't know if that would be the most pleasant. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting, and maybe I'll try it sometime and report back to you guys. Again, for GA, when you're let in, most of the time they'll like yell at you for running, like do not run, just you have to walk very fast to the barricade or to your spot. So plan out like where you want to go, figure out how many people are ahead of you, and just be like, okay, kind of want like the middle, or maybe like go to the side, whatever, just so you like know where you want to go, so you're not like wandering around, and as you're wandering people are filling up and you're getting farther and farther back. For Taylor concert, if you're trading friendship bracelets, don't be scared to like just go up to people and ask to trade, especially if you like see that they have bracelets. Like everyone wants to trade, and I feel like that's one thing that I wish I could have done differently, is just like gone around and traded with so many more people, just because I am like a shyer person, so I like didn't feel like going up to people. But everyone's there to trade, and a lot of people probably feel the same way, where they don't really want to like go up to people. But it's so fun and so cute, and it's just like so fun to trade little friendship bracelets with everyone, and it's just so fun. My biggest tip is to eat lots of food and drink lots of water beforehand. As you're waiting in line, as you're going to the venue, like stop and get dinner or like whatever, just eat food. Like literally whenever I have a concert that day, I'm like snacking and eating foods throughout the whole day, because I just know that I personally need that, and like to keep myself going. And chug water, drink lots of water, because you're gonna get so dehydrated and there might not be water available to you during the show. And then also drink like electrolytes before and after. I would drink liquid IVs before and after all of my Taylor shows, and it helped immensely. So definitely do that, or just like Gatorade or whatever. And like I said earlier, charge your phone, like just as you're getting ready, keep it plugged in, just charge it until the very last second and you have to leave. I kind of talked about this earlier, but also don't be scared to like go to a concert alone. I've done that a little bit over the past year, and it's actually so fun. Like I love doing things alone though as well, like just in general. So maybe if you don't like doing that, then it's not for you. But if like there's an artist you really want to see and none of your friends like know them or want to spend the money and go see them, and you have the ability to, like I say go for it and just go see them yourself, because I don't know, I feel like you're not gonna be the only one there going alone, and you can make friends with the people around you. Everyone's usually like really just excited to see the person and like chatty, and just like you can talk about the artist with them, and it's so fun. Or you could like put on Twitter like, hey, who else is going to this show, like can we stick together or whatever. And you can just like worry about yourself as well, because you can just be like, okay, now I can do this in the venue, or I can go get food and snacks, or if you wanted to line up early and maybe this person didn't want to, then you're like, okay, well I can get there early because I'm going by myself. So another thing, I saw a video on TikTok of this girl talking about like things she wished she knew before she saw Olivia Rodrigo, and a lot of the comments were like, girl, this is just like normal concert stuff, which kind of sparked the idea for this video. She talked about how she thought Olivia came on at 7:30 because that's what the ticket said, but your ticket usually says like, okay, show start time is 7:30 or whatever. That's when the opener comes on, if there is an opener. If there's no opener, then yeah, the main act will be on at that time, but it probably won't be 7:30. Doors usually open an hour before the opener, and then opener comes on an hour later. And then they usually like 40-ish minutes between the opener. That's a little bit of a long time, but half hour, maybe 20 minutes to half hour between the opener and the main act. So yeah, the time on your ticket is for the opener, not for the main act. Just putting that out there. Also, try to use public transportation if possible. Obviously not all venues are in like big major cities, but if you can obviously it's like really ideal to get like a hotel like close to the venue, but it's not always the cheapest option. So if you can use public transportation, I highly recommend. Usually if you are staying at a hotel, they'll have like recommendations for you of like things to take, like a train or a bus or whatever, because parking is expensive at venues and sometimes it's hard to get out of because it'll be like a parking garage and obviously everyone's trying to leave at once. So it just takes a million years to get out of. Also talking about like general admission, if the pit and like everyone around you just gets like too overwhelming, like don't be scared to just kind of like take a step off out to the side and like get a breath of fresh air, because it can get really hot and kind of suffocating, especially if you're like in the middle of the big crowd. Just step off to the side, grab some water if you need, like don't be afraid, but also keep in mind that you probably won't get your spot back like trying to head back in there. Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, because it's like obviously you want to prioritize like being able to breathe and like getting space if you need, but also just like keep in mind if you step out you probably won't be able to like get your exact spot back. So I kind of mentioned this earlier, but like do your research on the venue beforehand. I always like look up the venue and like look up pictures of what it looks like inside, and just like, you know, their policies and everything beforehand is just like good to know, so you're not clueless when you get there. Another thing is if I wouldn't recommend this for GA, but if you're like in a stadium or an arena with your own designated seat and you're wearing shoes that maybe hurt your feet and you literally cannot bear it any longer, which was me, Taylor, most nights, take your shoes off. Like just take your shoes off, as long as the floor is like semi-clean, low-key, as long as you have socks on. Like don't do this if you don't have socks on, but as long as there's nothing like on the floor around you, take your shoes off and let your feet breathe and like enjoy your night without your feet like hurting so bad. Or like bring like a cheap pair of sandals or whatever to just kind of like, I saw a few people bring or like hook like flip-flops to their bags so they could throw those on, so you can get like cute pictures in your cute little shoes and like walk around the venue with them, but then when the show starts your feet can breathe. Or like little like pair of like foldable slippers. Like I kind of wish I would have done that instead of just like wearing my socks. But go to the bathroom before the show. This may seem like dumb and obvious, but just go to the bathroom before the show, because you probably won't want to like leave during the show or miss anything. Or like if you know the set list beforehand, you can kind of like plan out a bathroom break maybe. Most tickets are online nowadays. Some are like will call, or you like go to the box office and get them, but especially like through Ticketmaster, most tickets are going to be on the Ticketmaster app. And so what you're going to want to do is save that ticket to your wallet. Usually a few days before the concert, it'll like open up and like allow you to save it to your wallet. So do that, because sometimes the app won't load, you won't have service, but if you save it to your phone's wallet, then you'll always have access to it. Make sure your phone works and everything. So save your ticket to your phone wallet. And also my phone does this thing. Sometimes it did it at Harry Styles, but my phone does this thing where I think it like overheats or just something weird, maybe like with the service or whatever, but it goes into like SOS mode, but it won't let me use my phone at all. Like the screen will be black and I'll just see the time. And I'm like, what? So what you have to do if your phone ever does that, because I couldn't access my Taylor ticket that one night either, and I was like, what is going on? I remembered my friend Googled how to fix it at the Harry show, so I remembered how to do it. But you hit the top volume button, the bottom volume button, and then you hold the top and the power button together for a few seconds until your screen turns back on and your phone should like restart or whatever it's doing. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but I just wanted to share that knowledge, because that would suck to not be able to get to your ticket, because that's happened to me a few times, and obviously I like got into it, whatever, and we fixed it. But also just like using your phone for like transportation afterwards as well, like it's just scary to not have a phone. Do that little trick if your phone ever goes into SOS mode and is dumb like mine. So that is my video on all things concerts, all the tips, all the etiquette, everything you need to know, everything you need to bring. I hope this helped. Let me know if there's any like other concert related videos you want me to make, or like if you have any questions or whatever, let me know down below. Again, I hope this helped, or if like you're going to your first concert this year, have fun. I love concerts so much. Like it's probably one of my main things that I just like love to do and like spend my money on. It's just so fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye.